If you remember from our last lesson, we talked about how the field is set up. Now we're looking at how do you put that information into a dot book. And a dot book is a really easy way to keep track of all of your moves. It's one of the most important pieces of equipment that you're going to be using while we're learning drill outside. It's also nice because if you can't remember how many counts a move is, or maybe where your final spot is, you can look at this book, find the page that you're on, and then find that information very quickly without having a crisis situation of having to ask a bunch of people where you're going to go. So let's check this out. So what we're going to be looking at here is one position, and we're going to go through the steps of how you would write in a dot book, just focusing on one person at a time so that you can get the idea of this. So you're going to need a page number. You're going to need the measure numbers, the number of counts of the move, your horizontal location on the field, your vertical location on the field, and if you can, the direction that you're going to be marching. Okay, so let's look at what you would be writing down in your dot book for this move. This is the first page of drill, so number 1. The measure numbers are not available because no measures have passed yet. There are also no counts for this move since there are no measures, so we skip that. So we're going right to horizontal location. They are on the 45-yard line, and they are 1, 2, 3 dots in front of the back hash. The direction is not available because we have not moved yet. So far, so good. So now we're going to take a look at the second page. So our X has moved now, and we have our old information from page 1. Now, for the next page, we're going to label that 2. This is measures 1 through 4. It is a 16 count move. Horizontally, they're splitting the 45 and the 50. They are 2 dots behind the front hash. You would normally mark the arrow in the direction that you're moving. In this case, since we're all watching it go the same direction, I made the arrow in the direction that the X is going to be moving. Not bad, right? We have 2 pages done, so we know 2 locations that this person has traveled. So now we're looking at what the X has done so far. So we see what has happened on page 1. They were on the 45, and now they're coming down and to the right, and they're going to be splitting. They're crossing the 50-yard line, and now they're splitting the 45 and 50, and they're 2 dots behind the hash. That would take 16 counts to do that move. Now we're going to look at a third page. So we would label this page 3. It's measures 5 through 10. It's a total of a 24 count move. And they are 1 step to the right of the 45. And they're 2 dots and 1 step behind the front hash. They're also moving slightly up and to the right from their previous position as we're looking at it. So now we have 3 spots. We have page 1. They're coming down and to the right to page 2. And then page 2 to page 3, we're coming up and slightly to the right. So now we have our first 3 pages recorded. This means that we're going to be moving twice. So if you've been following along, the first move is 16 counts, and the second move is 24 counts. Let's go ahead and take a look at what that will look like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Stop. So I recommend you keep really good records as you go. I do not recommend that you do something like write in your dot book, I'm right beside the dirt pile, or I'm right by that dead cricket that we saw yesterday. Don't use things that are temporary landmarks. You want things that are permanent as you go from field to field. So the things that are permanent are the yard lines, the front and back sidelines, and the hashes.